thank you to all the live viewers for coming to view the cannabis education presentation for February 26th. We're here at the council chambers. This is Cannabis Education 101 with myself, Chuck Peltier. Ani Kenegoya, Chuck Peltier Dijikaz, Wipangpong Bonjba, Nishkos Kenomon with Intitang, Wangamik Nonjanaki. You can contact me at Rainbow Lodge. Phone number there is 705-859-2324. And you can reach me by email, capelche@naguagan.ca. Cannabis Education 101. Some of the things we'll be learning today is what is cannabis, cannabis harms, cannabis safety, cannabis rules. Here's a little video on cannabis education from 1936.
These high school boys and girls are having a hop at the local soda fountain. Innocently they dance, innocent of a new and deadly menace lurking behind closed doors. Marijuana, the burning weed with its roots in hell. In this film, you will see the ease with which this vicious plant can be grown in your neighbor's yard, rolled into harmless-looking cigarettes, hidden in an innocent shoe or watch case. In this startling film, you will see dopesters lure children to destruction.
We're going over to Joe's place. Why don't you come along?
We have a date to play a set of doubles.
Oh, you can play anytime. Come on, we'll have some laughs.
Can I go along with you?
Sure.
Hey, I'll see you at dinner, sis.
If you want a good smoke, try one of these.
You will meet Bill, who once took pride in his strong will as he takes the first step toward enslavement.
Of course, if you're afraid.
Smoking the soul-destroying reefer, they find a moment's pleasure, but at a terrible price. Debauchery, violence, murder, suicide. And the ultimate end of the marijuana addict. Hopeless insanity. See this important film now, before it is too late.
So that's your cannabis education from the 1930s. What is cannabis? Cannabis is a plant that has mental and physical effects, such as creating a high or impaired feeling, or general change in perception and heightened mood. Here's a picture of a cannabis leaf. Here's a picture of a cannabis bud. This is a cannabis indoor garden. This is a cannabis outdoor garden. This is one plant here. So you're legally allowed to grow 4 plants per household. What is cannabis? Cannabis comes in 3 different types: sativa, indica, and hybrid. Your sativa plant is a more narrow leaf plant, and your indica is a more broader leaf plant. And a hybrid plant is just a genetically modified plant that's created with the indica and a sativa plant. So that's what you get is a hybrid. What is cannabis? Species, sativas. Sativas are mind-dominant, anti-anxiety, antidepressant, activating, increased alertness. Indicas are body-dominant, sedating, muscle relaxant, reduced nausea, and increased dopamine. Sativa versus indica versus hybrid. Know the difference, know your cannabis. Sativas are best suited for daytime, and indicas are best suited for nighttime. What is THC and CBD? CBD is cannabidiol. This is the non-psychoactive part of the cannabis plant. THC, tetrahydrocannabidiol. This is the psychoactive part of the cannabis plant. Here's a little video on the Cannabis Act.
It is now legal for adults to use cannabis in Canada, but there are a few things you need to know. Cannabis became legal for adults on October 17, 2018. It's your responsibility to know what is legal in your province or territory, including the legal age and where you are able to buy and use cannabis. If you're high, don't drive or go to work. Store cannabis securely and away from kids, and don't travel internationally with cannabis. Whether you're leaving or entering Canada, it remains illegal to take cannabis across the Canadian border. Find out more and get the facts at canada.ca/cannabis. A message from the Government of Canada.
Just some messaging on cannabis education, proper storage, and knowing the rules about cannabis. Cannabis is legal. On October 17, 2018, the Cannabis Act came into force. The Cannabis Act was created for a strict framework for controlling the production, distribution, sale and possession of cannabis in Canada. Here's a picture of a cannabis tax excise stamp. This will be on all legal cannabis packaging. This is a cannabis retail seal. This will be posted in all legal cannabis dispensaries. This is a picture of the Ontario Cannabis Store. The Ontario Cannabis Store will provide all the legal cannabis to all the legal dispensaries. Cannabis packaging and labeling. Here's a picture of the cannabis standard THC symbol. This symbol will be on all packaging products of legal cannabis products. It'll be on the jars, the bags, oil containers. There will also be warning labels on all the products of the cannabis farms. THC and CBD ratios. All legal cannabis products will have labeling information, your standard cannabis symbol, the brand name of the product, the strain of the product, and the THC and CBD levels of the product. And they'll have all the warning symbols on the packaging. This will be on all the dry cannabis, the oils, and the edibles. Here's some pictures of some cannabis display units. In the legal cannabis dispensaries, this is kind of how they will have their cannabis displayed. They have little units here. You can pop off the plug there, and you can smell the aromas of the cannabis plant. There's all kinds of different strains, strain names, but they'll have all this cannabis education information on their THC levels, whether it's a sativa or indica, even what the terpenes are. Terpenes can be pepper or spice. Here's a little video on cannabis edibles.
Edible cannabis, cannabis extracts, and cannabis topicals are now legal in Canada for adults to purchase. However, it will take time before these new cannabis products become available for purchase. Here's what you need to know about these new products, including ways you can lower the risks to your health if you choose to consume cannabis. Start with a low level of THC. For example, 2.5 milligrams or less in cannabis products that you eat or drink. Compared to inhaling cannabis, it can take longer to feel the effects of cannabis that you eat or drink. Up to 2 hours to begin to feel the effects, and up to 4 hours to feel the full effects. The effects of eating or drinking cannabis can last up to 12 hours, and some residual effects could last up to 24 hours. If you've consumed cannabis, do not drive. Store all cannabis products safely and keep them out of the reach of children, youth, and pets. This is particularly important for edible cannabis, which may be mistaken for regular food or drink. Find out more and get the facts at canada.ca/cannabis. A message from the Government of Canada.
Yeah, that was just some more messaging on where you can use cannabis and proper storage of cannabis. Cannabis edibles. Here's some pictures of some cannabis edibles. You can get cannabis in different forms. These are some cannabis mints. These are the cannabis soft chews or gummies. Cannabis tea, cannabis chocolate, cannabis vaporizers, and cannabis drinks. So the cannabis comes in different forms, in edible forms. Who should not use cannabis? If you're allergic to cannabis or to smoke, under the age of 25, possesses greater risk to mental health during development, particularly during adolescence. Have personal family history of serious mental disorders such as schizophrenia, psychosis, bipolar, or depression. Have serious liver, kidney, heart, or lung disease. Are pregnant, planning to become pregnant, or nursing. Have a history of alcohol or drug abuse or substance dependence. Here's a picture of the human brain in construction. Your brain develops from back to front, so the front is your prefrontal cortex. This is not fully developed till you're 25, so that's why the Government of Canada and Health Canada says to delay your cannabis use till the age of 25, because your brain is not fully developed yet. And, the prefrontal cortex is what is the last to be developed. So that goes for any other drugs too, and alcohol. The road to addiction. Stage 1 is casual use. Stage 2 is abuse. And stage 3 is addiction. Cannabis harms and withdrawal symptoms. People who use cannabis regularly develop psychological dependence. After regularly using cannabis for long periods of time, people can develop physical dependence. Withdrawal symptoms can be irritability, anxiety, upset stomach, loss of appetite, sweating, and disturbed sleep. Those who use cannabis should be aware of the health risks and take measures to avoid them. Why the national push for cannabis legalization was to establish safe, responsible production systems, designing a distribution system that produces the least harm to users and non-users, increase user knowledge around cannabis potency, expand scientific knowledge, particularly for medical users, reduce strain on the criminal justice system, such as court time, jail time, and fines. Cannabis has the potential to be the less deadly alternative in the face of the opiate crisis declared in First Nation communities and municipalities. Decrease the likelihood of lacing with other drugs such as fentanyl, carfentanil, methamphetamines, which can lead to overdoses. Cannabis harm reduction. Delay using cannabis until the age of 25 is recommended. Choose low THC levels and higher CBD levels. Stay away from synthetic cannabis products. Avoid regular use. Try 1 day per week or less. Use cannabis in ways that don't involve smoking, such as edibles or oils or topicals. If you do smoke, avoid deep inhalation and breath holding. Not using cannabis is the best way to protect your health. Cannabis rules and safety. Don't drive high. Don't go to work impaired. Buy from a legal source. Know and follow the rules about where you can use cannabis in your community. Don't carry more than 30 grams in public unless authorized. Here's some videos messaging on cannabis safety. Cannabis safety procedures. If you're using cannabis, do not drive. Find an alternative. Stay overnight, call a taxi, share a ride, use public transportation, or have a designated driver. Cannabis Act Rules. To buy, possess, or use cannabis and cannabis products, you must be the legal age of 19 in Ontario. You can possess up to 30 grams of legal dried cannabis or equivalent in non-dried form in public. Limit for home cultivation to 4 plants per residence. It is illegal to take cannabis and cannabis products, including those with CBD, across the Canadian border. Cannabis edibles, cannabis extracts, cannabis topicals are now available for legal purchase. The Cannabis Act includes strict penalties for selling or providing cannabis and cannabis products to youth under the legal age. Cannabis policing. Law enforcement officers are trained to detect drug-impaired driving. They enforce drug-impaired driving laws using standard field sobriety tests, typically administered at the roadside. A drug recognition expert to do an evaluation. This could include a series of tests and a toxicology sample, either urine or blood. Driving laws and enforcement. Driving impaired is illegal. You could face consequences like a fine, criminal charges, or even jail time. Drugs affect your ability to react and increase the chance of a crash. Drug impaired charge. Having 2 nanograms or less than 5 nanograms of THC per milliliter of blood within 2 hours of driving. The penalty there is a maximum $1,000 fine. That's the lesser charge. This is the more serious charge is having 5 nanograms or more of THC per milliliter of blood within 2 hours of driving. Penalties are, for the first offense, mandatory minimum $1,000 fine, and the max could be 10 years. Second offense is mandatory minimum 30 days imprisonment, and the max could be 10 years. Third offense is mandatory minimum 120 days imprisonment, and the max could be 10 years. Cannabis transporting rules. Similar to the rules for alcohol, it is illegal to transport cannabis in a motorized vehicle, such as a car or a boat, if it is opened, not in its original packaging, not packed in baggage, and is readily available to anyone in the vehicle. It is illegal to take cannabis across the Canadian border. For flights within Canada, only 30 grams are allowed for transporting. Cannabis education message. Key messages. Keep the cannabis out of the hands of the youth. Keep the cannabis out of the hands of criminals and the black market. Purchase your cannabis from a licensed dispensary. Educate yourself on the health and safety risks with cannabis use. This is just some information where I got my information with CAMH, Center for Addictions and Mental Health, CCSA, Canadian Centre on Substance Abuse, Cannabis Canada, Drug Free Kids Canada, Thunderbird Partnership Foundation, CCOHS, Canadian Centre for Occupational Health and Safety. Here are the next cannabis education presentation dates. Next one will be March 11th here at the band office in the council chambers from 4:30 to 6:30. Then the following after that one will be March 25th, same time and same place. So thank you to all the live viewers for attending cannabis education presentation. And, we'll see you at the next presentation. Miigwech.